Hi, Huellas family. We are so glad to have you here with us today. We are starting what we are calling the Sustainable Summer Series. These little professional development bites are 15 to 30 minutes a day. You can come back and watch them anytime. And hopefully, the best part is that they just take very little time and you can get right back to your summer activities. But there's been so much going on at Team Huellas this summer, and our family has grown. The users for the Huellas curriculum have expanded since the beginning of the summer last summer. And so we are so excited to welcome new users and give everybody kind of a feel for what's happening that maybe you don't know about yet at Huellas. So each day, stop in at 3:30. We are going to do, it's Simu Live, we'll call it. We've pre-recorded our sessions. And so that way we can be at the keyboard answering any questions that come up as you watch. And even if you have a question and you're watching at a later time, Melissa, who is one of the Huellas, she's just been key to this summer project. She wrote all of our essential questions and can-dos for each of the units, and I appreciate her so much. And now she's going to be here with me to man the keyboards, and of course I'll be here. And then we have Dylan Brinkman, who has also been helping this summer with writing some of the pieces that we're adding to the units. So that's what I'd like to start with. If you already have all of Huellas downloaded from last year and you haven't been back to Teachers Pay Teachers, keep in mind every time. Sorry, Siri thinks I'm talking to her on my watch. If you don't go back frequently to Teachers Pay Teachers and check your purchases, I would just encourage you to do so, because Huellas and other purchases that you might have made, every time someone finds it, like if there's a typo or if there's a missing space, I mean, some things are not super big, but other things, like this year, we have gone back into our units and we've added to Medicina Okura and to Haz que Dure and to Dame Dame Chocolate. We added a podcast from the Duolingo podcast to each one. Bethany Drew shared Duolingo podcasts with me, and oh my gosh, they're so great because the interviewer speaks to the listener in English, and then she speaks to the person she's interviewing in Spanish. So at each chunk of Spanish that they're listening to, then there's kind of a come back to the interviewer, and she talks through some of, what she's going to talk to them about next. And I feel like it makes everything so comprehensible for our students. Plus, the subjects deal a lot with the Sustainable Development Goals, which is what our curriculum is really foundationally based on. So be sure at least to re-download those 3 units. Our booster pack, which we started to grow last year. Last year, we added Compra Menos y Haz que Dure, and we added El Paraíso es una biblioteca to the booster pack. But then as the school year was ending, we finished La Ciudad Nunca Duerme. In June, we finished El que Siembra Cosecha. So we have one about fast fashion and sustainable fashion. We have one now about the library as a basic human right, like being able to take out and read books. And we suggested a couple of children's books, authentic pieces that would be awesome to share with your students during that unit. We also added one on the city and the people behind the scenes in a city that keep it running. And then we added one on sustainable agriculture and farming of corn in Mexico. And the last one, and it will be done at the end of this week, our last one is called No Basta con Hablar de la Paz. In this one, we're going to talk about 7 different people through different types of biographies. So they'll maybe look at some social media to see what they can glean about who this person is, or they'll watch a video, or they'll read a storybook, and they'll get a lot of biographies of people who use their voice to be advocates for some kind of a cause. So they're going all over the world, from Bana Alabed in Syria to Laverne Cox here in the United States. They are going to just fill themselves up with a lot of people who stand up for what they believe in and use their voice to advocate for others. So that unit is just about done. We have Ricky Martin his song Tiburones is the anchor to that unit. And so we are just doing a set of Ricky Martin centers, and then that will be all done and ready to go. So as we move forward, that booster pack unit is designed to go with Huellas 1. Now, that doesn't mean you have to use it in Huellas 1. If you read a lot of readers, the Huellas 1 curriculum as written, plus 4 readers in a year, fills up most of my year. We do a few other things like watch El Internado Laguna Negra, but we have a solid chunk of curriculum with just 4 readers and those things. But a lot of people don't use a lot of readers. So we wanted to enhance the Huellas curriculum so that even if you don't want to adopt a lot of readers, you still have plenty of material to make it through a school year. So these 5 new units add 10 more weeks to the Huellas curriculum, reducing your reliance on adding a reader to the curriculum. But they could be used with Huellas 2, they could be used with AP. You can pull those units out and use them anywhere that you want to. Another big thing that we've added is that Melissa has gone through every single unit. We had kind of a hodgepodge. Some units had no essential questions, no can-dos. Some units had just essential questions, some had just can-dos, but the majority, we were not consistent when we were first writing the units and putting them together last summer in making sure that they all had those. And so we've taken the summer to create a curriculum overview. So if you resync all of your Huellas folders, in the Huellas 1 folder, you'll find that all of the Huellas 1 curriculum has the curriculum map in the folder already. So you don't even have to go look elsewhere. We dropped those into the curriculum maps. Into the folders. Huellas 2 is the curriculum map is improving for the essential questions, but as soon as it's ready, we'll drop that. So by the end of the week, I would say you'll be set to resync all those folders. If you bought the booster pack, our goal is also that by Friday, we will have that booster pack ready to be resynced, because if you bought it early when it only had 3 units instead of 5, you know you got a great discount on the booster pack, and now you can re-download it and get those other 2 units added to yours. If you haven't gotten it yet, there's a big surprise coming later this week. If you're still waiting and you're still kind of holding on, trying to decide whether you need the booster pack or not. So we'll tell you a secret on Friday. Oh, I'm just going to tell you today. The big fall sale is coming up August 3rd and 4th. You can get your 20% off from me and 5% more from Teachers Pay Teachers with the right discount code. So you'll be set for the school year with the new booster pack. So that's new at Huellas as well. So that's kind of what we've been doing this summer. We do have plans to continue this process. Huellas 2 is also dependent on using some readers alongside the curriculum to fill the full year, if we want it to fill the full year. So for the next year and into next summer, we are also going to try to add 5 units to Huellas 2. So we have them kind of mapped out, but they're still coming. We want to always have something new coming out so that you feel like when you look at this curriculum, you can find the things that you want to teach. If a unit doesn't speak to you, if it doesn't resonate with you, we want you to be able to pull something else in. And so we just want to make Huellas very flexible for you. So thank you for spending time with us today for the Sustainable Summer Series. Please let us know if we can answer any questions about the new products, about the improvements to the products that we have. And thank you so much for being a Huellas user. I'm going back to my classroom. I start back to school August 15th. And so my students are going to be coming in. We actually, last year, we were hybrid most of the year. Half and half, kids A group and B group coming to school. Wednesdays were all virtual until about February. In March, everybody came back to school except the remote learners. So really March to May, we had shorter class periods. We dismissed at 12:40 every day last year. But we had shorter class periods, but we still were kind of face to face. But this year, I feel like we're going back to a full day. We'll be able to cover, more content during that time. But my students aren't quite complete with as much as they would have been in years past. So I'm actually starting back in Somos in level 3, coming into where I would normally start with Huellas 1, we are actually going to finish a couple Somos units. And in level 4, we're going to do a couple of Huellas 1 units that we didn't get to last year before we dive into Huellas 2. So I would encourage you, if you feel like you don't think that Huellas 1 has to go only with level 3. Huellas 1 can be for any intermediate level student. We tried to group the units in an order that seemed logical as far as like understanding the content. In Huellas 113, they learn about sustainable farming and agriculture, but they've already had a little bit about sustainable agriculture in Dame Dame Chocolate. So they have a foundation of a little bit of understanding of what sustainability looks like in agriculture. So you can 100% teach El que siembra cosecha before teaching Dame Dame Chocolate. It's an independent unit. It can stand on its own. But as far as curriculum flow, the reason we put them in the order that we put them in is just we feel like they build on each other a little better that way. But don't ever feel bad about mixing and matching and doing the one that your students are interested in doing next. And be sure you share with us here in the Facebook group as we go through the year. Melissa has some great ideas. If in case you didn't know, Melissa runs the info@somewheretoshare.com email. So you may have talked to her this summer about getting on the newsletter, questions that you've had. She responds here in the group as Melissa Lynn, and she's been a big help to me as we, as this curriculum is growing and we have more users. And so throughout this year, we're going to be offering helpful hints and tips, and Melissa will be keeping you up to date through the newsletters every week. So thank you to Melissa, and thank you to Dylan, and to everybody else who has put in little bits of help this summer, to Nellie for all the proofing that you do. All of these units Nellie's like the final stop for all the units before they come to you. And so I'm so grateful for the team that I have. And we look forward to seeing you every day this week in our Sustainable Summer Series PDs. Have a great day and get out there and enjoy some, summer floating or something. Bye-bye.